Good morning, my dear students. Today in this class, we are going to analyze a few circuits, okay, in which the source of current is going to be alternating current, and we are going to connect some elements like resistance, inductance, and capacitance one by one, okay, to the source of alternating current, and we are going to analyze the phase difference between the current and the EMF of the circuit using a diagram called phasor diagram, and we are also going to analyze it using the wave diagram. All right, so let's begin with the first circuit. The first circuit is AC circuit containing resistance only. Okay, so here I must tell you in the beginning that we are going to analyze circuit containing R separately, L separately, and C separately. Then we are going to combine all these three in series. Okay, so let's begin. We assume a source of alternating EMF. If I just draw the diagram like this, it becomes a source, DC source. But if I draw the source like this, it becomes an alternating source. Okay, it is connected to a resistance. The value is R, pure resistance. Okay, and the EMF that is connected to the circuit is represented by, as we have been doing, E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Let it be equation 1. All right. Now, if there is a source connected, there is some current flowing in the circuit. So let I be the current flowing through the circuit at any instant of time t. Okay. Now, because we have a resistance here, a potential difference will be created across this resistance. Let this potential difference created across RB, E is equal to IR. Okay, now at any instant of time, the potential difference created and the applied EMF will be the same. That means this can be equated to this one. All right, so IR is equal to E. Okay, now E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Okay, then I can write I is equal to E by R, or E is E naught sine omega t divided by R. All right, so I can be written as, now E naught by R is EMF divided by resistance, that is peak EMF divided by the resistance, which is going to be giving you the peak value of current. So it is equal to I naught sine omega t. So from the equation of EMF, okay, we have successfully derived the equation of current for a circuit containing R only. Okay, and if you compare these two equations, just see these two terms. Okay, what is the phase for this one? Omega t. So phase difference between the current and the potential difference is omega t for EMF, and here it is again omega t. So omega t minus omega t is equal to 0. That means it means that there is no phase difference between the current and the voltage for a circuit containing R only. It means, actually means that whenever the current or the voltage is at its minimum, the current is also at its minimum. You know the wave, right? And whenever the current is at maximum, the voltage is also at the maximum. So let's try to find out. Let's try to analyze this using a very important diagram. It is called the phasor diagram. Okay, phasor diagram. Now what is a phasor? Phasor is a rotating vector that represents a quantity varying sinusoidally with time. So any quantity that is varying sinusoidally means following the sine equation, it can be represented using a phasor diagram, and it is very helpful to analyze an AC circuit. Okay, because alternating current is time varying following sinusoidal curve. All right, now phasor diagram, it is drawn like this. Draw the two axes. Okay, plotting time here. Okay, and here we are going to just put an arrow. This arrow is the phasor diagram for R. peak value of alternating EMF, that is E naught. Okay, now you know I naught is equal to E naught by R. That means the value of I naught will be slightly smaller than the value of E naught, and they are in the same phase. That means here if I draw an arrow, this will be representing E naught. These two make an angle equal to omega t. You know, if velocity is displacement by time, then displacement can be found out by multiplying velocity and time. Similarly, if it is angular, then you know angular velocity omega is equal to theta by time. Okay, so angle can be written as omega into t. That is how we have written this, and we take anti-clockwise as the positive direction. All right, now the special thing about the phasor diagram is that the projection of the phasor on y-axis, that means this is omega t. So this component is E naught sine omega cos omega t, and this component is E naught sine omega t. So the speciality about this phasor diagram is that if you just draw a projection of this peak value on the y-axis, you are going to get the equation of the wave. Okay, likewise its projection. So this is your E naught sine omega t, this value, and this much is your I naught sine omega t. Another component is going to be E naught cos omega t and I naught cos omega t, which we do not want. We just want the projection on the y-axis because it is going to give you the equation. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram for a circuit containing R only. All right, let's draw the wave diagram. Let's draw the wave diagram now. Okay, wave diagram. On the same graph, we are going to show both current and potential difference, or current and the EMF. Okay, now if this is the value of EMF, I'm just taking one cycle. Okay, so this is E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Okay, now current, since they are in the same phase, that means if E is at 0, I also will be at 0. If E is at the maximum, I will also be at its maximum. So I will just draw broken lines here, broken wave, to show I. Okay, and here the amplitude of I is slightly less because I naught is equal to E naught divided by R. The peak value will be slightly lesser than the peak value of E. So this is the plot for I is equal to I naught sine omega t. So from this it is evident that starting point of both waves is the same. Maximum they reach at the same time, minimum they all reach at the same time, and even the reverse direction they are following the same timing. That means they are in phase with each other. So here phase difference between current and voltage for a circuit containing R only is equal to 0. All right, now let's proceed to another circuit taking another element connected to an AC source. Here we will be doing AC circuit containing L only. So we will take a pure inductor. Pure inductor means the inductor is also made up of a wire. It is wound, isn't it? But we are neglecting any resistance in between the windings of the inductance. That means there is no value of resistance present in the inductor. So we have a source of alternating EMF represented by this one, and inductor is represented by this one. Okay, the coil, inductor is a coil, and the value of inductance is L. So let a source of alternating EMF represented by E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Let's take it as 1. We are going to compare it later with the equation for current, okay, and see if they are in phase or not. Now, inductor, if you recall your previous chapter, you will see that the rate of change of current through L at any instant t, there is an induced EMF produced at the same instant. Okay, so inductor is related to induced EMF, and this induced EMF is given by minus L, the rate of change of current. Okay, now we are neglecting the resistance. As I told you, it becomes a purely inductive circuit. Now to maintain the flow of current, okay, current is flowing from the source, but here an EMF is actually created in the opposite direction. That means if you want to maintain the flow of current in the circuit, the applied voltage must be equal and opposite to the induced EMF. That means you're applying a voltage E. It must be equal to line of the induced EMF so that the flow of current is maintained throughout the circuit. Now replacing the value of E minus L di by dt. Alright, so it becomes L di by dt, which is equal to E. Okay, so E is equal to L di by dt. Now E is equal to L di by dt. I can write in place of E, because it is the source, alternating source, it can be rewritten as E naught sine omega t is equal to L di by dt. Okay, then I want an equation for I, because I want to compare the equation for the alternating current and this alternating EMF. So for that I will just write di is equal to, just cross multiply, E naught by L sine omega t dt. If you want the value of I, I'm going to integrate it. So di is equal to E naught by L becomes a constant, integration sine omega t dt. Okay, we are not taking definite integrals here because later we are going to add a constant. Okay, now integration of sine omega t is integration di is I, E naught by L can be written as it is, integration sine omega t is minus cos omega t divided by omega. Okay, and of course, since we have not taken the limits of integration, we are going to add a constant, but at time is equal to 0, the constant, the value of constant comes out to be equal to 0. Okay, so this constant term is not dependent on time, so we can take it as 0. Then in the next step, I will be equal to, from here, minus E naught by omega L cos omega t. Okay, or I can write it as minus E naught by omega L cos omega t can be written as sine pi by 2 minus omega t. Okay, I want both the equations in terms of sine, so I am just replacing cos omega t by sine pi by 2 minus omega t, because these two are complementary to each other with a phase difference of pi by 2. Okay, so I can write, with this negative sign taken inside, I can write E naught by omega L sine omega t minus pi by 2. So this is I. Okay, now I, like in the previous case, we have taken E naught by R as I naught. I can take this E naught by omega L because the term equivalent to R for a resistive circuit is equal to omega L for a inductive circuit. So this can be written as I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2. So this is the equation of current, okay, for a circuit in which we have connected an inductor to a source of alternating current. And the difference here you can see between equation 1 and equation 2, you can see that alternating current I lags behind alternating EMF by a phase of pi by 2. Alright, this means that when the EMF has already reached the maximum value, the alternating current is just at the minimum value. That is the meaning of lagging behind. Let's treat it using a phasor diagram now. The phasor diagram. Alright. So firstly, I will draw this. First, I will draw the peak value using an arrow, the phasor for E naught. Okay, the angle is omega t, positive angle taken anti-clockwise. Now, I naught is lagging behind E naught by a phase of pi by 2. So, you have to come down in the clockwise manner. Okay, so from here, if you come down, you come somewhere here. So, your I naught will be here. Alright, and projection of these two on the respective y-axis will be equal to I naught sine omega t, and the projection of this one on the y-axis will be E naught sine omega t. Of course, the value of I naught, that is the peak value of current, is slightly less than the peak value of EMF, because I naught is equal to E naught by omega. Alright, then treating it using a wave diagram, you just have to draw this. Okay, omega t along the x-axis, and here we are going to plot I and E together, E and I together. Okay, firstly let's just draw E, not a problem. Okay, so this is the equation, wave for E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Okay, now for current, you take the equation E is equal to E naught, take both equations for current and voltage, and I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Okay, omega t minus pi by 2 was the actual equation. Okay, now t is equal to 0. You take t is equal to 0 for voltage, this entire term will be 0, so E is at 0. Okay, now if you take this t is equal to 0 here, it will be I is equal to I naught sine minus pi by 2. Now sine minus pi by 2 is minus sine pi by 2, that is equal to minus 1. So I will be the negative of the peak value. So by the time the voltage is at 0, the current is only at its negative maximum. So if it is I naught, it has just started its journey here. Okay, so it comes like this. Okay, so then you can continue. Right, so this is the curve for I is equal to I naught sine omega t, omega t minus pi by 2. There is a phase lag of pi by 2, that's why it's starting a little late. By the time it is at 0, 0, it is still at the negative peak, and by the time it is at its maximum, the current is still at the 0 mark. It should come in the middle. Okay, that is how you draw the wave diagram. Now, there is a term called inductive reactance, similar to resistance. What does a resistance do to a circuit? It limits the flow of current. Similarly, if there is no resistance, we don't call it resistance, we call it inductance. Okay, it is called inductive reactance, sorry, we call it reactance. And comparing it with equation, I naught is equal to E naught by omega L. Okay, comparing it with I is equal to V by R from Ohm's law. Which term is coming in place of R? V is replaced by E naught. Okay, and R is replaced by omega. So the main job of this omega L in the circuit is to limit the flow of current, and this is called inductive reactance. Okay, which is denoted by the letter XL, that is equal to omega L. Okay, now omega can be written as 2, omega L can be written as 2 pi into frequency into L, because omega is equal to 2 pi by T, that is 2 pi into frequency into L. Okay, now naturally more the frequency, more will be the value of this reactance. Now if it is a DC source, does a DC source have any frequency? No, it is just sine. Here frequency is equal to 0. So XL for a source, DC source, is also equal to 0. That means there is no restriction to the flow of a DC to the flow of a DC current if you have connected an inductance in the circuit. Okay, that means a pure inductance offers zero resistance to DC. It means a pure resistance, pure inductor cannot reduce DC. Now, coming to the unit of this reactance, it is similar to your resistance unit. The SI unit of reactance is ohm. Okay. This much for today's class. In the next class, we are going to take two circuits. One will be circuit containing capacitance only, and we are going to combine all R, L and C together and analyze the circuit. Thank you.